Going back on the record, the time is 2:30 p.m.
Okay, so you've been handed what's been marked as Exhibit 122, which is Bates number WA-AG-001046. Have you seen this document before?
No, I'm curious where you got it.
It is at the top. It's that's the LuLaRoe logo, and it says "Want to earn full-time income for part-time work? Ask me how." Is that phrase familiar to you? Full-time
No.
income for part-time work?
Not to me.
Okay, so
I've never said this, is what I'm saying. I mean,
You can put it aside.
I'm wondering if one of the retailers has made that, which they do. They make lots of stuff.
If a retailer had created this Exhibit 122, would that be okay with LuLaRoe?
No.
Why not?
Because they can share something that's their personal, but not post it and print it, you know. Although it's true. I mean, Mark says it all the time. I don't say it, but Mark says it because he knows how to do the whole math about it. But
When you say Mark says it all the time, you mean?
well, you interviewed him, or somebody interviewed him last couple of days ago, and he clarified this phrase: earn full-time income for part-time work.
And let's just make sure we don't talk over each other. So when you said Mark says it all the time, are you referring to full-time income for part-time work?
He doesn't say it all the time. He has said it.
And then now we're going to go to Exhibit 45.
Oh, man. Sorry.
Sorry to make you dig. I should have given you a warning. So for the record, Exhibit 45 is Bates number WA-AG-001179. Have you seen this document before?
No.
Are you familiar with the Find a Retailer feature on LuLaRoe's website?
No.
Are you familiar with a feature that allows a user to go to the website and find retailers near a certain zip code?
I've heard.
Have you ever used it?
No.
Do you know why LuLaRoe developed this feature?
Probably with all the excitement in the air and being able to buy a size 2 or to go shopping with your size 2 friend and you're a 3XL, people got excited about it and wanted to know, where can I find a retailer near me? And so this was a nice feature. Retailers were asking, please, please, can you put us on a map so that they can find us? Because we don't sell direct to consumer. The retailers do.
Do you know whether this was something that prospective retailers used?
I have no idea.
Were all retailers listed sort of in the database behind the Find a Retailer function?
I do not know all the details about how this goes about, what the process is, or
Were you said you weren't on those calls? Were you never on the President's Council calls?
I wouldn't say never. I would say rarely. I would say maybe the first year, maybe 3 calls, like 3 months. And then I just got busier and decided it was okay to let them do what they needed to do, and they would, report what they felt was important that some changes needed to do. If there was any changes, I don't know. And then because the reports it wasn't productive, I was like, I'm not gonna spend my time.
Were there ever meetings for the President's Council in
There
person?
was maybe one or two. There was one in the very beginning, right after convention. We met them one time in Salt Lake City, and then there was one time we had everybody come into California. That was about it.
When was that Salt Lake City meeting? You said
Maybe
it was
September. It was. I remember it was 2 months after convention. Convention is when they got announced. It was a big surprise, and they would get announced in end of July is when convention is usually. So I remember that one was in September because it was fairly cold, getting cold fall weather in Salt Lake City.
And do you recall what year that was?
Mm-hmm.
You said 4 years ago, so would that have been 2015?
It could have been 2015 or 16. 14, 15, and 16 of that. I don't know, gosh.
Don't guess.
Yeah, that's okay. When there was that in-person meeting in Salt Lake City, did LuLaRoe pay for the President's Council members to attend?
Yes,
So paid for their travel?
yes. They didn't get paid to be there. They just got their hotel, and we went shopping because the hotel was attached to a mall, and they bought what they wanted, not on my dime.
Were President's Council members compensated in any other way?
No. It was all about, are you willing to serve? And that was a huge honor to them. But then it became not so.
Okay. The President's Council.
I don't know.
So you're the president, correct?
They say I am.
What do you mean?
I don't know. I think I'm not a titles person, so
What do you mean they say I am?
people say, "Oh, you're the president." I'm like, I don't know. I'm not the president, but
Why do you think you're not the president?
I don't know. I think that's a pretty big, serious role. I'm not that serious.
But you're listed on company documents as the president, correct?
Yes.
And what are we on? So you've been handed what's been marked as Exhibit 123, which is a document base numbered LLR-WA000-42665, and is a record of a text chat from your iPhone dated May 26, 2015. Does that sound correct? Mm-hmm. Okay. And here it looks like you are texting 5 participants. Looking at that list, are they all retailers?
Yes.
Okay. Thing within LuLaRoe called the Art Council. Is that a term you've
Never heard of that.
Earlier, you mentioned a meeting following, I think you said following convention in Salt Lake City for the President's Council. Mm-hmm. How long was that meeting?
Oh, I don't recall. A couple hours.
People flew in for it?
Yes.
Did they stay overnight?
Yes, they wanted to. It was fun.
So the meeting couple hours but plus some social time.
A lot of social time.
How long did people stay?
I don't know. I don't recall.
1 night, 2 nights?
Probably just one night.
Did all of the President's Council attend?
Yes.
And I think you said that meeting was following convention. Am I
Yes.
remembering right? It was in September.
I remember.
When was it scheduled?
I have no idea. Probably at convention in July. They made a decision when it was good for them.
A leadership meeting in Arizona in August of 2016.
I don't.
Have you ever heard the term influencers used with respect to LuLaRoe retailers?
Say it again.
Have you ever heard the term influencers used with respect to LuLaRoe retailers?
No.
Has that been a term you've used ever?
I think we all influence people. I don't know. I don't recall when I've used it or if I've used it.
Have you ever had in-person leadership meetings for small groups beyond just the President's Council?
Maybe. Teams asked to meet with me.
Have you ever asked retailers to personally pay to onboard anyone in the queue?
No.
Have you ever encouraged them to do so?
No.
Let's switch gears a little bit and talk about ordering LuLaRoe products. When retailers place an order for clothes, are they allowed to choose what they're ordering?
Yes.
Are they allowed to choose the patterns?
No.
So what are they allowed to choose?
Their sizes and quantities and styles?
Has that always been the case?
Yes.
Have they ever been able to choose patterns?
No. Not unless they're pulling an order.
What does pulling an order mean?
That, like we've had on occasion, that they could come and pull an order.
Do you mean go to the
They
warehouse?
could go to the warehouse. I'm sorry.
Is that anyone who goes to the warehouse could pull their own order?
I think they had to sign up for it.
So there's special events.
Yes.
At what events are retailers allowed to pull an order?
They did it a couple of years ago. They did it. They've done it before, but as the company got bigger and bigger, it was not. They asked us not to do it because it caused more stress on them to pull orders. They said, this is too hard. I like it better when I can just place it, open the box, and be surprised.
The retailers asked not to do it?
Yep.
Which retailers?
I don't know.
Did anyone ask you personally?
No. Just that when I had asked them how awesome they are, about that event, they're like, oh my gosh, I don't ever want to do that again.
Who told you that?
Just people, randomly.
Do you recall any specific names?
No.
About how many events has LuLaRoe had where retailers were allowed to pull orders?
I don't recall.
When was the last one?
I don't recall.
Were they events that all retailers were invited to, or events that only retailers of a certain rank were invited to?
I wasn't in charge of that.
Number is this? So you've been handed what's been marked as Exhibit 124, which is bait stamped LLR-WA 00005941. And it's an email from LuLaRoe, Where Fashion Meets Comfort, to Jordan. Subject is LuLaRoe Weekly Home Office Update Notes, March 15th, 2016. And that's also the date of the email. Have you seen this before? So this is another, I think we saw a different one earlier, a weekly home office update email. And in it, there's a message that's headed Deanne, President and Founder. Is that a message you wrote?
Not me.
Is it a message that someone sent on your behalf?
Yes.
Okay.
It's hot.
Can't open the door.
No, we can ask the front office.
And I think I'm going to go through one more exhibit and then probably be at a good place for a break too. So we'll all get some air in a minute.
I know, I'm surprised there's not like a air conditioning in here. It looks like there's vents.
Yeah. It just be an exit vent though.
And exit.
Something for the rats to crawl through.
Shoot.
Your second form of exit in emergency.
I'm afraid I would not be able to get up there.
So you've been handed what's been marked as Exhibit 126, which for the record is LLR-WA 000408808. Is an email from Stacy Valley to a variety of people dated Monday, June 19th, 2017. Subject Q call and coach's call. And then if you turn, the next page is a transcript from a LuLaRoe coach's call dated Monday, June 19th, 2017. Have you seen this before? Mm-hmm. Are you familiar with LuLaRoe's practice of having certain calls transcribed?
You mean for the hard of hearing?
Yes.
For the deaf people? Yes.
Okay. And so does this look to you to be a transcription or a captioning of a coach's call?
I have never seen them give me that. A transcriptionist. I've never.
So it's not their normal practice to provide you with the transcriptions afterwards?
Well, I'm sure it is, but I don't open up my emails.
So looking at the transcription on the first page, the second full paragraph, it says Deanne and it starts, "Hey everyone." Does that look to be a transcription of your comments on the call?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, I think we can take a break.
Going off the record, the time is 3:15 p.m.